Shalom, Akim. Shalom, Yasharala. Shalom. Before this starts, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. To give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well, the only one certified to teach the 100% truth of the Bible, the pillars of Israel, whether you like it or not. A sincere shalom to all the Akim out there pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. A sincere shalom to the Aquath out there learning this truth in silence, man. My name is Bana Shapasha, and I'm back today with another lesson. Just want to go over Proverbs 16, because there's some beautiful nuggets of wisdom in here, And while we're rehearsing the righteous acts until the Lord comes back, it's always a beautiful thing to seek wisdom, all right? But I just want to start with verse 16. The preparations of the heart and man, and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. Just going into free will, really. The preparations of the heart, everything that you can, because the heart, let me bring this out in the KJV so you can see the Hebrew word for the interlinear. If you go, the heart is just lab in the Hebrew. Lab means the inner man, the mind, the will, or the heart, or the understanding, the inner part, the midst, the soul, the heart of the man, the mind, knowledge, thinking, reflection, and memory. So it's your mind that is talking about in the Hebrew. So whenever you're reading the scriptures, you gotta, like the apostles say, we look up words, and when we do and we pay attention to the Hebrew, because that's a big part of the genuine understanding from the Lord. And just the preparations of the heart, the plans, the thought process, the way that you may want to go, which is the preparation of the heart in man, and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. And so again, you could have your own idea and whatnot, but really it's the Lord that's gonna go ahead and move things to His will. Which was another point that I made towards that that bug out during camp last Monday, talking about we have free will, but like in his mind, he thought, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and go to work, and then go ahead and start running at this specific park and whatnot. Oh, there's some people going through the Bible, I'm going to talk to them. But no, Yahweh put it on your spirit to go ahead and maneuver all this way just to come right here where the ministry is being preached, where the altar is there, all right, where the church is in effect, and the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai are being pushed out, and the Lord put you there to be marked in that moment, and you were confounded, and but that's not the main point that I want to go into. But that first verse has a lot of weight to it that even these bug outs can't handle, but it's given to you to understand this, man. Like it says in Matthew 13, the wise owl speaketh in parables, and it's because it's for those, the hopeful elect will have the better understanding, but the elect themselves will have the proper understanding. Is that Isaiah 11, talking about quick understanding? Isaiah 11 verse 3, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord, and he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. So again, just in that one point of being able to properly understand that it ain't you that's directing your steps, just like it says in Why am I forgetting? Is it Proverbs 20 and 24? Why I always forget. Yeah, a man's goings are of the Lord. How can then a man understand his own way? You know, it's not up to us to guide ourselves, because look at what happened when we did guide ourselves. First off, we're slaves to sin. You know, our spirits and our flesh are constantly at war with each other, and unfortunately, so more often than not, our flesh has won over our spirit throughout history. You know, because that's how the Lord has put it. He wanted us to really get firsthand experience what it's like without Him. You know, that's why the Lord turned His face away from us, because we were just continuously sinning. And for us to really understand what it's like to have that directionlessness, that lost feeling, you know, that all the more to have the need of, no, I see that it is important to have Him as everything to guide you, because when we guide ourselves, it's always wrong. You know, even our most righteous works are seen as filthy rags, man, even in this flesh. So if our best efforts that we can give to the Lord are still seen as bloody period blood stains on a filthy rag, what is it gonna be when we just trying to relax and whatnot? It's still off, you know. The other day, my rib asked me, like, what could I really do to be a better wife? And it's a beautiful thing that she's asking me this, you know, and there's a point to this. So, you know, I'm like, you know what, you can work on this one too. And then she's like, well, would that be all that I have to work on? I'm like, no, that'll never be all. You know, if I really, like, my ribs are great, all right, but, you know, she's still imperfect, so she don't do things exactly to how I would like her to do. But even this is why I always be saying, if you were to go ahead and zoom out a little bit, because the Lord likens the men of Israel as to a calmly delicate woman unto Him. You know, like, the Lord is our bridegroom. You know, we're preparing ourselves the same way a woman will prepare herself for a man to come take hold. In the same way that the Lord is going to come and deliver us, we are preparing ourselves to be delivered, to be guided by Him. In that same exact regard, He absolutely can look down, because, you know, we go ahead and we pray, Lord, what else can I do? How else can I get better? Will that be, like, you can't have that thought process of, no, that's going to be it, because we're imperfect. So if the Lord really wanted to hold us to that standard across those 613 laws, man, we go off all the time. It'll never be done until Yahushua comes back and completely rights everything, man. And it's coming soon, but, like, the point is that it'll never be done on your own volition. You can never work to be right. You can never fulfill. You need Yahushua in order to be perfect, you know. A small rant, but verse 2, all of the ways of man are clean in his own eyes, but the Lord weigheth the spirits. Exactly. Verse 2 of Proverbs 16 again. All the ways of man are clean in his own eyes. So that's where pride really comes in, you know, where it's showcasing that you think that you understand everything that's happening in front of you. Oh, what I can see. But the thing is that you're seeing on such a low level. There's no spiritual fortitude and there's no wisdom. It's all pride. It's seeing things out of the flesh. It's walking within the flesh rather than being in the spirit. And because of that, keep going, but the Lord weigheth the spirit. The Lord is out here actually putting things in balance and making sure that they're working properly. Just because you see it on some small level, oh, this happened, this happened, this happened, that means this. No, there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes. And the way I like to liken it is, if you look at a TV and you look at what's on the TV. What's on the TV may be an image of whatever. And you could say, okay, well, this is just how a TV is supposed to work. And by function, technically, yes, that's how it's supposed to work. But the fact of it being able to do whatever it can, you have to look behind what you're being shown, you know? And once you actually take off that front panel, you see all them LED screens, or you see all the LEDs behind the screens. You see all the wiring. You see the power, the connector, the soldering, all the chips, the antennas for the Wi-Fi or the signal, all that stuff. There's a whole lot more that goes into making this work. It's not just a magic box that works, you know. But that's it. Just because you see it on such a low level does not mean that there's a lot going on. That's how things work with everyday life. It's not just the sun comes up, sun comes down. It's not just like, not even the sun is just a light. It's also a sign for the end times and whatnot. The same thing with the moon. There's the moon. Salakia, let me show you. The moon was a sign of the end times. Joel 2:31. So like here. I don't have the most time, but I'm just gonna do whatever I can. Joel 2, verse 31. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and then let me see. Yeah, this is another prophecy. Let me go ahead. Let's start at verse 28. And it shall come to pass afterwards that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall have dreams. Your young men shall see visions. Now, these are signs of the end of days. All right. What do you see when you go out in social media? You see everybody talking about, oh, I keep having dreams about war and UFOs and things. Just that wasn't me. That was a chair. So like You see things that are, even the brothers are talking about having dreams, or their ribs having dreams. And there was one brother's rib that made a painting of being in the kingdom, walking down gold streets and into a palace where everything was absolutely gorgeous, beyond words, really. Me, myself, I've had dreams of being in Jacob's trouble, of being beamed up into a chariot and whatnot. That was a couple months ago. That was beautiful. Other brothers have dreams about. I remember one brother, the New York brother, made a video about some brothers just didn't make it and whatnot. Well, it's just like they get to like after Jacob's trouble, after the nukes hit, after brothers get saved in the chariots and whatnot, and then they go to the council afterwards, and that there's a lineup, and they're all waiting to get crowned and getting their garments and whatnot. This was in the brother's video, and just that's the point basically. That's the Lord pouring out his spirit upon all flesh. Again, it's not, people are having crazy dreams. That's what the flesh is going to tell you, because it doesn't have any spiritual understanding. The spirit does, but, that's why it's important to build up your wisdom and spirit by hearkening onto the prophets that the Lord has sent, which is the apostles of GMS, with the like-minded brothers, you know? So that's where you actually get to be able to properly see what's happening within the world, man. Because you got some people here that think they understand just by what they see, but they have no spiritual inclination, and that's why they're going to be lost. But again, and it shall come to pass afterwards that I will pour my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams. Your young men shall see visions. And that's happened too. We see chariots, man, not too long ago, I want to say like maybe a month or two ago, all of us were at camp, and it was a crazy day. There were demons coming out left, right, and center, starting some, and you would think, and again, someone who doesn't have a spiritual inclination will just see, oh, these people are just crazy. They don't see that there are literal demons on top of these people, you know, like controlling them, causing them to bug out. And, you know, they see, oh, it's just people going crazy down at downtown. No, it's demons out here. And that same day, Brother Nalia pointed out, man, there was a chariot flying right across. We've been watching it since we first saw it, and it was a while. We watched it. It didn't beep like a plane. It didn't blink like a plane. It wasn't a drone. It was extremely bright. It wasn't a star, but it moved in a very consistent pattern. It wasn't. It made no sound or anything. It was a chariot, man. It was a chariot by night. It was a ball of fire by night, you know. And others would not have the spiritual sense to actually look at that and see that, no, that is a chariot of the Lord. They would just see that, who knows what that is. That could be a drone. It could be anything, whatever. You don't really know. And that's where they'll be confounded, you know. I'm going to keep going on because I need to get running. And also upon the servants, upon my handmaids in those days, I will pour out my spirit. So that's where the Lord is reawakening us in those latter days to hearken on to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, to fall back into this understanding, to have a need to call back to our heritage, which is learning the Hebrew, which was in Zephaniah 3:9. For then I will turn to the people a pure language, that they may call upon the name of Yahweh to serve him and with one consent. All right. So that's in the scriptures that we are, that was going to happen. All right. Another precept to connect that. Verse 30 of Joel 2. And I shall shew wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire, the pillars of smoke. And the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood, before the great and the terrible day of Yahweh come. You know, and it shall come to pass, whoever shall call on the name of Yahweh shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion, in Jerusalem, they shall be deliverance, as Yahweh hath said, and the remnant who the Lord shall call. All right. So that's the point of, well, that was the main point of just the sun and moon are not just lights in the sky, man. They are also signs that the Lord has put out for us to be able to determine the end of days, you know? And that's the spirit that the Lord put on us to be able to have that understanding. The main thing that people can't seem to understand is that the Lord took away the spirit. That's what him hiding his face was, so that we would lose our heritage. We would lose our language. That's why he gave it back to us at the end. But he's only giving it back to certain those who are willing to accept it. You know, he's only dealing with the elect. And Lord willing, we're part of that number, man. There are 144,000 men that are going to be saved. And the 1/3 that will be saved as women and children, you know? Okay. But, you know, I might just have to continue this later on. I don't have much time, unfortunately, but I'm going to go ahead and not to slack it. Yeah, I'm going to have to stop it here because I'm at the plantation, so I just got to keep them pushing right now. But yeah, I'm going to keep this going. I'm going to just go through the whole chapter later on. But hey, shalom to the elect up there. Lord willing, y'all find this edifying. All right, shalom. If I don't see you tomorrow, Lord willing, I see you on the chariot. Shalom, Yasha'Allah.